I'll be honest, I don't know if it's gonna look good, but I thought I might as well try. This house is all about stairs, and there are 3 sets of stairs in this house that currently do not match the floor. So this is the color of our flooring right now. We've had flooring done since before we moved in, but we have not finished the overall flooring, and I've decided that this will be the first project of 2022 is to get this hallway, stairway area finished, looking like it should match the rest of the house. So this is a partially winding staircase that goes from here, but we also have here and here. So currently this hallway is a creamish yellow, but right now with the rest of the house, it kind of looks like the walls turned yellow. So I was toying with different ideas and different colors. And if you're new to this home journey, welcome. This is my first home with my partner, and we are redoing and DIYing all of our own renovations. So if you want to see what else we've renovated, check out this playlist in the description and we can go from there. Things we need to tackle in this stairway project. Seems like a pretty simple, quick job, but there are some design elements that we can incorporate into it. I have been looking on Pinterest, and I think there's a lot of fun things that we can do with the staircase, even if I'm not gonna paint it a fun color. Stair nosing also has to be done, so all of these edge lips need to be covered. This is gonna be a pain. I don't know how I'm gonna work around this, but ugh. As well as the handrail here. We need to sand everything that's going to be stained and painted. We upgraded our palm sander into a DA palm sander, and this guy is going to be my best friend for a while. I'm going to try and match the staircase to the floor. That will be option 1. I have a couple of plan B options figured out. We have consulted some contractor friends, so I have wood stain test ready to go. If not, can mix a little bit of paint with a little bit of stain to be a bit more of an opaque wash. And then if all else fails, we're just gonna paint the staircase darker. As well as finishing the risers. Some of the risers are a little bit wonky because if you see at the top of the staircase, there used to be, I'm guessing, stair runners because there's a lot of glue and nail residue. The stair rail and the newel post, which I've learned, is fine. I think if I wasn't focused on doing the entire house, I would spend some time replacing the newel post, but for now, the rails, since these are black, I'm gonna paint the handrail as well as the newel post black. If we're gonna count how many steps are in this house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 19 steps that need to be stained and matched. I'm very excited for this project because I think this will make the house look a lot more modern and clean. Currently the steps look very old, and because they look old, they make the house look kind of dirty. There's a lot of scratchy bits, and I think staining and matching it will at least clean it up a bit. Test spot first. I'm going to test this area because it's going to be covered up and it's close to the floor. So we'll see if it matches. I'm going to hand sand this first because it's just a wee spot. Not good. Time for the second trip to Depot. Well, it's been a month. I don't know what happened. Somehow life got busy, work got busy. I'm at the point where I still need to choose the right color for the stairs. So I picked up a bunch of paint samples. And we have an air compressor. That super helps. Can you show me how to turn it on? Okay. Survey says that was a lie.
This is silent. I don't even hear it. We have 150 here.
Yeah.
These tools operate at 90.
Okay.
So tool needs to be 90.
Yeah.
But when you use it, you see how it drops?
Oh yeah, okay.
So go again. Keep holding. So it's only at 60, so we turn it up.
So it drops to 90.
Yeah.
How do you know it goes at 90? How do you, who tells you?
The box.
Oh, okay. Very official measuring tools. Y'all, do you know Stefan measures his coffee beans every morning to exactly 19 grams per cup of coffee every morning? Ah! 2 personality types. Looks quite opaque already. Okay, this is on the other side. You can still see the wood grain. So we move over to this side. I wipe this off. Where am I? Right here. Aha! See, it's like, it is like paint. It doesn't move the way the stain does where you could just wipe it off. It just stays on. Interesting. If I were to go with this color,
Yeah.
which is not bad, you can still see the wood grain and it
Yeah.
covers up the orange. Because it's not transparent, it's not about canceling the orange, it's about matching the floor. Oh, I'm liking 6633. Application is easy. It's not streaky. You see a wood grain underneath. Fuck. We're okay. Roll. Today, I'm going to be prepping the hallway and getting rid of all the holes in the wall. The previous owners had babies, so a lot of holes were put in the walls for baby gates and baby proofing. They used to have curtains here. If you see how tall it is, like me walking naked around the house is not an issue. And for the first time ever, this is like, the Asian in me is screaming, but she put shoes on to work. Let's go! Man, there are so many holes. This is just the side of the wall I never see. I mean, really nice that they tried to patch the holes, albeit a little last minute, but very nice. The best thing that you can have, a variety of step stools. Wow. Time to crazy sand. Oh. 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 It's areas like these, all along the edges where when you brush and you brush this way, you leave like a little rough edge. Finishing off this is very important to get a nice clean finish. Quite a couple of coats of paint already. I'm just trying to smooth it out as much as I can. So while I'm here, I feel like, I need to finish the baseboards anyways. I'm gonna show you one side of it that's gonna remain unfinished because it's too cold still to go outside and cut the baseboards, and Steph is like almost done this one wall. It's a tricky wall, so you'll know when you see all the finished angles, there's gonna be that one spot that will never be photographed because it's not gonna show up on Pinterest. Seeing this through to the end. This millennial bought a ladder! She bought a ladder! She's a real adult. My hands were suffering last night. Keeping this handy on me. I'm so glad that I didn't choose a dark color because working in tight spaces, I've tapped the ceiling a couple of times now. I did the edges with my contraption and it worked out great. As long as you have strong tape, you're fine. But getting around these corners in a pole is a little clumsy. This is what I learned before we moved into this place, is to always paint before you do the floors. The swirly half greenish part of this is going to be a little tricky on the tall parts of the stairs. I was going to freehand it. I'm trying to think it through a bit better. At first I was going to do the off-white base top to bottom, so then that way I can freehand very easily. But when it comes to painting, you do want to keep it thin, and also I don't want to have to double up on my work and have to edge top to bottom if I'm going to cover it up anyways. So tonight I'm going to plan this out a bit better about where I want my swirls. I did it!
I see that.
I did fine! Like my extendy pole? It's hard to turn the corners.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm gonna need to do a second coat of everything. So I'm gonna do a second coat of edge all over, reattach my pole. I'll do the rest of the edges a second time tonight, and then the rollers go on tomorrow. Another day. You know what I learned in this process? Thinking that this hallway is small, and I understand, I was under the understanding that, you know, The bigger the wall, probably the more work. There's more painting to do, right? Not at all. It's not about the size of the wall, it's how many walls there are. And there are so many walls in this hallway. On this floor alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8 walls here. And then that doesn't include the walls on the stairwell. Now before I start rolling on the base white, I'm going to map out and draw the swirls of where I'd like it to go, and then paint a little overlapping layer of the white before I go in with the green. This is the look that I'm going for. Part of me is like, I'm sure the next person buying this place or living in this place would not appreciate half swirly walls. But my compromise is that I'm keeping it relatively similar tone so that it's not too much of a contrast. Otherwise, if I had my way, it would be a bright blue hallway. I'm just trying to be practical. It's hard though. Perfect finish. Use.
Saturday.
Fun Mossmas day. I'm very excited about how this is gonna look. This is where the actual transformation is starting to happen. And I'm gonna paint the edges of the green all along the trim and see how far I get today. Man, they painted this trim without tape. It's terrible. Man, why didn't I tape up this trim? There's paint drips on it. Look at these. What is this? Oh, I should sand this. These messy lines. Oh, I should have taped before. This is so silly. I think I need to patch anyways because there's a lot of peeling paint. This. And then this. So this is white and this is yellow. I didn't even really notice, but now you can see that there's tonal difference and I'm like, I just have to show you this one section. 0 days without incident. This is what happens. This is what happens with latex paint when you don't prep your surface. And I definitely don't want that to happen. Lifesaver. Steph says he thinks that this will only be sharp if I use tape and then I could bring the roller up to the edge. For me, I think taping will be long and tedious because none of these are straight lines. I'm gonna try with a brush first. The hardest thing is that I can't see the contrast until it starts to dry. I have to look really closely. Someone's inspecting my work. Oh yeah, it is good. Smug!
I told you multiple times that I think that tape would be your better option.
Yeah, but do I listen? You gotta let me try things out first. You gotta let me learn on my own. Okay, let's tape. Everything is taped up. I can now go ahead, but I'm gonna brush because I'm worried about making sure that the lines are not bleeding. The green tape is not great. I'm still gonna use a brush to brush against all the tape and then go back with a roller. It doesn't look like there's a difference, But there's a difference, I promise. But yeah, tape was the way to go. Oh, also, don't bother getting shitty tape. The green tape is so tricky because if I don't brush it perfectly and keep smoothing it, they're not going to be crisp. Today, we're going to be doing baseboards, touch-ups, and starting to sand. Oh, look at this, yeah, see, touch-ups. And then we're gonna be sanding the stair railing and the newel posts. No! Ah! Well, this is what touch-ups are for. Ooh. This, with the paint, like they painted it, and I tried to like take it off, but every time I try to sand it, I'm scratching the metal.
Yeah.
Should I just paint it?
I would take it off.
Oh, now I can sand easily.
Yeah, I mean, if you knew you had to do that from the beginning, then you could have just done that, and then when you rolled it, you just roll it.
Well, you didn't tell me. So whose fault is it?
I guess it's all my fault.
Yep. As usual, didn't get as much done as I wanted to. The world's slowest contractor. Don't laugh at me. The most effective hourly paid contractor continues her work. Listen, I'm meticulous, okay? This is End Project Letitia coming at you, letting you know so much has happened. As usual, underestimated this project. So if you're ready for part 2, sit tight, cause yeah, it's like a mix of like a drawn out but exciting, you just have to wait till the end to see project. I'm resting, like you can see just a little bit of what's happening here. This is the wall. I'm about to head out and continue more into, now we're doing the backyard with a backyard update. Lots of things actually happening to the house this year. So yeah, you could find me on Insta or TikTok at Letitia Q. You could find more behind the scenes things. And now that spring is happening, yeah, all the projects are coming in at once. So yeah, make sure you watch part 2.